CBS 6 News, live from opening day at the Saratoga Racecourse.
Thanks for staying with us for CBS 6 News at 5:30. We'll have much more from here in our studios. But the big story today, the very hot opening day at Saratoga. Liz Bishop has been up at the track. She joins us now live from the Saratoga Racecourse. Liz, I know it's hot there, but you do look calm, cool, and collected. I'm not sure how you're doing it, but keep it up.
Well, actually, you can tell as I'm holding onto my hat here, Greg, that there is a breeze here. It has really been the saving grace all day long because for all intents and purposes, it has been unbearably hot here at the racetrack. And of course, this is the big 150th anniversary kickoff. So the heat has really overshadowed that big day. Still, I know there have been a lot of people who have been concerned about the safety of the horses and the racing fans over the course of this day. A lot of people writing to us on Facebook and to our website and sending us emails. And I can tell you that from what we can see so far, the horses seem to be handling it. We can also tell you that I talked to a horseman that I know from Kentucky who said to me today, you know, a lot of these horses come from Kentucky and they're used to this kind of heat. There was a trainer, Gary Contessa, who told one of our crews that he thought that the public concern was just being blown out of proportion, I think was his words. And then I also talked to Javier Castellano, one of the jockeys. As he came off the track after the second race, he was soaking wet. And I asked him how he and the horse had handled it, and he said to me, and this was a quote, that he thought Naira had done, quote, a phenomenal job. Obviously, the heat is the story here, but despite that, there's a lot of prep that goes in to making an opening day happen. And our Lynn Falsetti was behind the scenes all day, learning everything from what it takes to train the horses in the morning to what it takes to get the eateries ready for the food for the day. She's had a pretty interesting day, and she's going to share it with us now.
Before the sun comes up, George Russo and his crews are prepping the track. They were here until around 8 last night and started back up at 4 this morning, sealing, then grooming it before training starts back up in the morning.
Consistency is the depth of the cushion and the amount of moisture in the cushion. So when you balance the two together, it makes it a safe racetrack.
We got a sneak peek during this morning's training session. Many trainers' number one concern this afternoon is the heat.
She's getting a bath now, and with it being this hot, we give them a bath in very cool water, and we have a fan on them all day. So, and then before we go to the races, they get hosed down with cold water, and then we take them to a gathering barn where all the horses meet, and we hose them down again.
After a glimpse into the morning routine of these trainers, our crews got inside access to the silk room. There are about 3,500 silks in this room and guarantees owners the use of the design and stable name while racing in New York State. And finally, the man who needs no introduction. Sam the Bugler woke up early just to give us a private show. Here at the track since 1993, he's looking forward to the start of a new season.
Bring on these lovely, vibrant people. We will be entertaining roughly 1 million people live in the 40 racing days, and that is what I do. I entertain every fan humanly possible.
Okay, that was Lynn Falsetti reporting with her own private concert with Sam the Bugler. As we mentioned, this, of course, the 150th year of racing, not of racing, but 150 years now since Saratoga began racing. It's kind of a distinction there. And joining us now is the man who's been in charge of this big birthday bash, Charles Waite, the chairman of Saratoga 150, with us now to talk more about what I know has been like a pretty grueling time for you the last few years, hasn't it?
You know, actually it's been fun.
Yeah.
When we first started, we were a little nervous because we quickly built up to 150 events and then 200 events. But everybody's pulled in. It's the best job I've ever had. I'm not paid, so I don't have to show up on time.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that job. What would you say was the hardest thing to sort of get your arms around when you're planning for this incredible facility and 150 years of history?
Well, the hardest thing to get our hands around was the funding, of course, and that was what we were worried about because it takes a substantial amount of money to get this kicked off. And we had 4 or 5 initial asks for sponsorships, and they all came through.
Oh, good.
So that gave us our initial funding. But I've got to tell you, after that, really, we've had a lot of support from the local business community, from all over. People have bought lots of pins, so our funding is secured. And we're really hopeful that we're going to have a little bit left over to give to an equine charity when we're through.
Oh, that would be wonderful. 5 months long, though, this celebration. That's really pretty unprecedented,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is.
Talk a little bit about the events. You've already had some. How have they done, and what have you got coming up?
We kicked it off with a family fun day at SPAC, and that was terrific. It was just for families, you know, face painters, clowns, storytellers, bands, and that was a great success. And now we're rolling into the main part of the season. As you know, right here at the clubhouse entrance, we have the Hoofprints Walk of Fame. That's been a great success. In fact, I'm afraid the people are blocking the entrance a little bit.
Well, let's talk about it because we're almost out of time. The August 3rd, the big day.
August 3rd is a big day. Right before that is the Floral Fete. It's a parade with 20 carriages going down Broadway to an ice cream social. And then on the 3rd, of course, is the unveiling of the Whitney stand at the Oklahoma track and the invitation to the public to come and watch the horses work out at the Whitney stand on the Oklahoma track.
Well, it's very exciting, and I think, you know, having been here for many years, this is a family place, and you've done such a wonderful job of making this a family-friendly celebration. So congratulations to you. Saratoga 150 forever, until, of course, Saratoga 200.
Yeah,
You'll be
right.
planning that as well.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be around for that, but you will be.
I hope so. I'm going to try.
Okay.
Charles Waite, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Liz.
And that's going to wrap it up. We'll be back at 6 o'clock with more from Saratoga. We'll send it back to Greg now.
All right. Thank you very much, Liz.